Got
you,
him.
Brad.
There
Fuck
it
you,
is.
Brad.
Fuck you, Brad.
In the
Starting
good
off
darkness
right.
of our future, there is only war, and tonight there is only Warhammer. Welcome to the Tainted Hive Season 2, Children of Rokarth, our flagship game where we play through Warhammer 40k Imperium Maledictum by Cubicle 7, thanks to all of you and the fine, fine gentlemen over at PrimetimeMagic.com.
.com.
Thank you so much for the two gentlemen over at PrimetimeMagic.com and their team for supporting us and being our show sponsor for Season 2 of the Tainted Hive, Children of Rokarth. They've been with us for 28 episodes already.
Woo! Is that all?
That's how far we've been so far, and they're here for episode 29. But
They're here in this room.
They're in the
You didn't see
walls.
is Primetime Magic in the room with you right now? Last time on the Tainted Hive, you had been followed down an alley.
By PrimetimeMagic.com.
Followed down an alley.
They're in the alleys.
Through Ditchhaven on the way back to the old Mordecai facility where Dmitry had been treated so long ago. And by so long ago, I mean 3 days ago. In the process, though, you set an ambush, ambushed this individual, and absolutely eviscerated them. Now, as you rolled the body and checked on things, Dmitry, your suspicions were confirmed, and you realized that the issue plaguing Rokarth appears to be a gene stealer cult. You had confirmed that the individual following you was human, but still had kind of tinted skin, a little bit of carapace. You found organic weaponry on the person that were made out of like bone type material. And Osiris, as you grasped one of those weapons, a blue, leering face looked out at you with kind of an orangish reddish carapace as well and said, "You shouldn't have that." A quick call to the Seneschal himself on the attempt to get Halikarn, Corvus Maleficent, and you had a weapon delivery and some assistance en route. You headed back to town, found out that the tardigrade fields where Petronilla Vivar and others had been were now neutralized, and Petronilla herself was back with the Sisters Hospitalier for emergency care following massive wounds. And so you all went, rested through the night back at the Boiled Basket, and the next morning met up with the drop from Halikarn. So as we pick up today, it's right where we left off last time. The Scions, all four of them, in black armor with skull motifs, black masks, black visors, rebreathers in tow, all carrying hotshot lasguns, have came to you with 5 melta-bombs, a bolt pistol, a bolter, and a melta, each weapon of which had 3 magazines.
Now, if I remember right, I thought the Seneschal said he would send 8 multi-bombs to blow up the Convexum. But I see Halikarn has come up short again.
5 melta-bombs to blow up the Convexum.
Uh-huh. I'll listen back. We'll see.
I was going to say, I just listened back, and I'm pretty sure it was 5. Either way, that's what my notes say, so there's where we are.
I thought Halikarn was sending some experience, too. But anyway, carry on.
You got the experience at the end of last episode. You shut your mouth. In addition, you had attempted to collect the bounty for Elena to find that the people did not believe you because, to their knowledge, Elena was hanging above their heads. But it wasn't Elena. And last, but not least, we left off last time with the Scion, Leovold Cromwell, looking to you all and saying, "So, you know about where we're going." And as we pick up today, the very nice, exceedingly nice for Warhammer 40,000 Scions have joined your group and are waiting for your guidance of where to head. So, gentlemen,
Hell yeah.
evening is yours. And it's actually afternoon in game. Excuse me, I'm thinking in real time it's evening, but the afternoon is yours. You know that there is something going on in Ditchhaven. You know that there is a problem with Rokarth, and you have been tasked to still try to find and eliminate the Gratis due to its risk and due to the cult's risk. You're still not 100% sure of where they're coming from.
Now we have no reason to go to the tardigrade fields, right?
Correct.
Hey, Brad.
Sir.
Did you ask permission to sharpen your pencil, sir?
Okay, I feel better.
Okay. You feel good? Are you all set?
I feel better.
Okay. So yeah, you don't need to go to the tardigrade fields, Mordecai. You know that that issue has been, air quote, resolved, and biometric scans of the area showed no living organic matter. And then Petronilla and some of those had been brought back to the hive to try to be healed.
So what leads do we have to follow in Ditchhaven? We have nothing left here to do except blow up that convexum, unless you guys can think of something. I mean, I kind of want to shoot that Cutters lady, but that's kind of a personal thing, so probably not going to help us much.
I mean, a weapons test would be valid. We just got to
Yeah, I want to try this bolter real quick.
make sure Halikarn didn't send us some whack.
Well, the plan
Let's
is
blow
being
that thing
figured
up.
out. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm down with that.
I like explosions. It's fun.
All right.
Could draw some attention.
Hey, why were the cutters armoring up that train car? Do we know?
Weren't they sending it off to go be exploded somewhere? Or am I thinking of what Elena was doing?
Elena set up a explosion with all of
Right.
the weapons cache at the bar. You've never asked and you never found out why the train was being armed and armored.
If only we had a +1 with the cutters still.
I mean, I still do. I think, right? Says so on my character sheet. +1 to Cutters gang.
Pretty sure you all lost your +1, but we're gonna not 100% sure, to be honest. So essentially, Mordecai, to your question, y'all need to find the next step. You need to find your next lead. You've exhausted your portfolio of things that you have so far.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's a clue you missed. Maybe there's people you haven't talked to. Maybe there's things that you haven't put together from past episodes.
Did we ever find out who the Gratis was being sold by? Except we had that Z. And that's about it. And I don't think that it's what you guys think that it's Zinch. Because like
Well,
Zinch
she
doesn't
could've-
sell things.
She could have about to say, what are they? Damn it,
From the
the
name of
aliens.
Xenos.
Xenos.
Xenos,
Yeah, she
that's
could have
the one.
been getting ready to say Xenos.
It's true, she could have been. You don't know. So at this point, you're heading off to blow up the convexum. That's what I've got so far. Is that correct?
No, we're all gonna stare at our shoes.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
let's do that because we don't know what else to do.
Stare at your shoes. You begin to make your way. So the shuttle had set down just outside of Ditchhaven, right outside of the market where you had bought your leathers. You begin to make your way through the town. Leovold, and you hear that they're speaking on an open Vox channel. They've put the 8 of you onto the same Vox channel, so you can hear them chatting through their helmets as well. You hear as Leovold goes, Tether, Swag, take the right side, solo with me, left. Keep an eye out. Got a bad feeling about this one. You all begin to make your way through town. Now, the most direct route to the convexum is to go back up, past the cutter parts, hang that left to head back to the Hab unit where you had met with,
Morketh.
Morketh et al. And from there, you know that you can head outside of town and head up towards the convexum. It's about a 3-hour walk. You begin to make your way up the main thoroughfare, and if you guys want to deviate from a main road, just let me know. You begin to make your way up the main thoroughfare. I need all 4 of you to please give me a, let's call it an intuition surroundings check, and it will be at a routine +20.
This was what? Intuition?
Intuition surroundings.
37 under 69.
37 under 69. Okay.
28 under 46.
Okay.
18 under 31.
Okay.
34 under 70.
So everyone has at least a +3 success level. Good. As you all begin to make your way through the town, you notice that the scions are immediately on edge. The Vox chatter is minimal. They don't say much, but they begin to kind of move, and every one of them is weapon ready, looking at the roofs, looking at windows. And at one point, you hear as Leovold just goes, "Yeah, sure. I don't like this. There's too many points. We're too exposed. We're going to take a side road." And he steers you all down an alley before you ever hit cutter parts. They begin to navigate through these back roads, but that feeling, that feeling that things are cascading, stays. Each of you have almost that nape of the neck, hair raising, something is not right here feel. As you make the walk towards the edge of town, and as you begin to break back out towards that main square, the place where there was the almost like a compactor that crushed things to drop them into a sluice where you found Elena, the house where you saw Morkath and those gentlemen as well. As you get close but not quite there, the scions stop. The front two drop to one knee, the back two begin looking up. The Vox in your ear whispers, and you hear Leovold go, "This isn't right. I think we're being watched. I think we're being followed."
I guarantee we are being watched.
Yeah, but it'd be one thing if it was one person or two. But this feels different.
Maybe
Which one of you has the all-specs that Halakarn said you got?
That would be me.
Take a look at that damn thing for me, would you?
Well, Brad, I have been this entire travel. But,
Good.
So am I seeing any heat signatures through any walls of people?
We'll get to that in just a minute. Because you can see medium range, which is only one zone away. So Dmitry,
Yeah, but zones are in flux, and we kind of just make it up willy-nilly as we go, so it's fine.
You don't get to make it up. I make it up. That being
I'm
said,
saying,
Dmitry,
the royal
tech test, please. The royal we.
what do you need, Brad?
I need a tech test, please.
Can do.
Because again, kind of to reiterate how we've done this in the past with your auspecs, you are walking through a city of thousands, which means it is constantly pinging. So if you're looking for specific things.
That's a 50. It's a challenging +0.
Challenging +0, yeah. Yeah,
That is a
sort through the chaff.
55. Over 45. Am I doing? I said that wrong again. God
55 over 45?
No, I didn't say it wrong. I don't know.
So you got a -1.
I got a -1.
Okay.
That much I know.
You've been looking at it, and there are so many signatures of life forms in the auspex range that it's hard to sort through them. And as Leovold kind of says this, to your point of how you said it to me, you're kind of just like, I am.
And this thing looks the same like it does every time I check it.
He walks over, and he kind of leans over your shoulder. He says, "May I?" And he asks if he can just... Okay, so he punches a couple buttons on it. And it doesn't clarify the resolution at all. It still continues to be overloaded with signals. He goes, fucking technology. Osiris, you have the ability to see through solid objects up to medium range. So up to one zone away from you. So the way that is at this point is that if you're on the street, you're looking into the building, first room on either side is what you're seeing, first floor. Occasionally, if somebody gets too close to a window, you'll see the heat signature there. Similar to the auspecs, there's heat signatures everywhere. There are people in all of the buildings. It is the afternoon of a day where there is the churn of staff. You are in the bowels, which means that there are people here who don't necessarily have work shifts to attend to. Similarly to the auspecs, you are also almost overloaded with the amount of information you're seeing, the amount of people that you're seeing. But you don't see anything at this point that resonates with a threat. Like, you're not seeing a person with a weapon or any kind of a heat signature like that.
Okay.
Brad,
Sir.
Can I take a second to just look around the windows,
Sure.
kind of all the hab units? I'm just going to kind of take a second to peruse those and, I don't know, look down any alleys that are close.
Okay. So you're in a winding alley space. There are branching avenues. I'm going to call them avenues in air quotes, but branching
Right.
alleys on either side. Go ahead and give me an awareness
Also,
sight.
I will do that. So the sense that we get, I understand you can't elaborate too much.
Can't
but are we
elaborate
getting
too much.
Are we getting the sense of like when you're walking up the stairs and you feel like there's a presence with you, or like that feeling like there's somebody staring at the back of my head?
Both.
You know what I'm? Okay.
Yeah, I know exactly. Imagine. Do you guys remember like when you'd be in the basement and you'd
Yeah.
be walking towards the stairs, and as a kid,
Exactly what I
you
mean.
get the urge to run for the stairs. It's kind of that feeling.
So we're feeling kind of a supernatural presence, but also a human style presence, like somebody staring at you from across the store kind of thing.
Potentially. I used to. Justin remembers my teenage home, and there was nowhere for anyone to be in the basement if you were in the basement alone. But that didn't stop me from feeling like I was getting watched when I was home alone in the basement.
Word.
I only have one fate, so I am not going to reroll. That was sight, right?
It was sight.
That's 62 over 51.
62 over 51. Okay. So that is a -1. So you begin looking around. And I love the answer for the outcomes table on the GM screen. Outcomes, -1 to -2. Failure. No, you just do it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So you look to all the windows and you're looking for
I actually look at the
Telltale
window
signs.
sills instead of the see-through part. So
You find yourself getting distracted by windows that are like half open and you can see people kind of milling about inside their homes.
Mhm.
One woman begins to like hang some laundry out of a window and you find yourself staring at her for far too long. And you all get the palpable sense of something going wrong.
You know, we had the same feeling last night, and then we cornered one of these bastards and killed him. Perhaps we could do something similar again.
You hear Leovold's voice over the Vox go, "It's not too bad of an idea. Could be worth something, eh?"
Yeah, I mean, it would help if we could figure out who it is that's watching us.
Oh, if your supposition here is right, I think we all know who's watching you. If Dmitry over there is accurate about what's going on in this city, I'd be surprised if we're not under surveillance 24/7 at this point. One of two things is going to happen if he's right. They're either going to try to kill us, or they're going to go to ground. Neither of those are good outcomes. Hence why we're here. You hear as one of the other voices tunes in and, "Sir, Solo." And Leovold goes, "Yeah. I think I've got something here." And he begins to reach down under a brick and lift up. And as he does, there is a package wrapped in debt tape, wrapped in black tape. And he just goes, "Oh, fuck." The side of the building blows in. Chunks of Solo blow everywhere. I need all four of you to roll an athletics test Actually, first things first, I need you to all roll a dodge check, please.
No. It's going to be 48 under 50.
Okay? You successfully dodge, you will not take damage.
So this is agility. Anybody who has your broken stuff, you're at disadvantage. Just
Correct.
remember.
If you got broken ribs, you're at disadvantage. Oh, no.
Well, 48 becomes an 84 then, doesn't it?
Oh, okay. So, Mordecai, you do not get away.
No, I just a couple more broken ribs.
It'll be a 94 over 56.
94 over 56. Okay.
What do we use for dodge? Athletics?
No, it's dodge is its own thing under agility. So it's going to be an agility
Reflexes
test. Yeah.
Under your skills.
Dodge is the specialization
Yeah.
of the reflexes test.
It was,
and it was
21 under 33 for me with disadvantage.
28
Dimitri,
under
perfect.
33.
28 under 33, and Osiris does not have disadvantage. Got it. Okay. So Dmitry and the goodest of good boys had to be taken away. Dmitry and Osiris successfully, as this begins, Osiris, you didn't see the heat signature of the package. You couldn't. There's no heat. It's inert material. But you dodge away. You hear it and you dodge away quickly. And you and Dmitry both basically end up jumping back out of the zone that just erupts with this demolition charge. Roderick and Mordecai. The demolition charge goes off in full. Now, a demolition charge is not great. It has the spread and unstable traits.
Who decided to invite Carmine on this adventure? God dang it.
When you dodge an explosive attack in your zone, I believe you avoid taking any damage. And when you don't, I believe you take the full load.
I bet he does, that slut.
Jesus Christ.
Brad, we need to work on your verbiage.
Yeah, that one wasn't great. That one wasn't great.
I mean, some could argue it was great.
All right, so when an explosive goes
Great
off,
for me.
when an explosive goes off, you ranged attack, boom, 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 blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Oh,
So
it says roll up new character. I'll work on that.
But I'm hoping that's not the case, but we're going to find out. It's been a while since I've blown something up on you guys.
Did you say demolition charge?
Yep.
That's 16 damage, you dick.
Yep.
Oh, God.
All right. So you each, Justin, I need your rules lawyer and double check this. I believe you take the full damage.
For a
Jesus, I don't
demolition
think it'll be
charge.
that bad. It's only the worst explosive in the
I
list.
got you, dude.
Is there anything that we can do as like to circumvent that explosion, or is
Yeah,
that just all
dodge.
happening so quickly that
The
it's-
way that the NPC grasped the rock and picked it up, no. The whole
I thought
thing
this
just
guy was
went.
supposed to be a professional, and here he is just picking up rocks willy nilly.
They are professionals, but that doesn't mean they don't make bad choices. The dice god said he was lifting it.
Okay.
That said, Mordecai,
Yeah.
Roderick, until we can reconfirm, I believe it's full damage. So you're both going to take 16 wounds.
Okay.
That will be mitigated. This does not have the traits to blow through your armor. So any armor you have will help.
Oh, so I'm one away from dead. That's cool.
Okay, so you are at, what's your total
I'll take-
wounds? You
I'll
have
take
15
14.
wounds?
Yeah.
Okay,
My
so you-
toughness is really high. So,
So you're at 14 out of 15. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then Roderick. You hear as the oh, I need to roll for the science.
Are you dead, Dmitry? Are you alive?
No, he
I
dodged it.
think I don't. Yeah, I dodged it. I don't think I took
Oh,
any damage.
Roderick. It's me and Rod. That's right.
You and Roderick.
Are you alive, Roderick?
I'm probably not alive, but we'll see.
You got fate.
I do, unlike some people.
I do have one fate. I'm trying to decide if this is. I guess are there any criticals associated with this, or am I just
If you do not
blasted
exceed
on the floor?
0, you're just thrown backwards and lacerated to hell.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna see if I can. I don't want to use my fate here.
I wouldn't use it. You got 2 healers with you.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You guys come put your hands on me.
That's right. Talk about a
I
full
got you.
load.
At least you did it intentionally. I didn't mean to say what I said.
I said hands. I didn't.
You know what I'm saying. All right, so Roderick, how many wounds do you have, sir?
11
Okay.
total. That's my max.
yeah, we need
I
to
have,
figure out-
I have none actual on me right now. But
Yeah. So you're at 0 out of 11. That's fine.
yeah.
And how
have
much
armor?
armor are you wearing? You also have a suit of armor that reduces explosive damage, if I remember correctly.
I have a flak vest. It'll reduce damage on my
There you go.
chest. But
right,
I
let's
also
start-
have
let's
sin
start
skin. I have varying armor on varying places.
Use your highest point of armor.
My body has 5.
That's perfect. So you will end up being at exactly 11 out of 11 with that. Although, what is the flak armor reduces it by more, or is that added to your armor value?
Flak. Hang on, I was looking at explosive charges. Let me look at my armor.
Extra armor, power armor, flak armor. It provides an additional +1 armor against damage from explosives. So
Well, there you go.
you'll go from 5 to 6. You'll be at 10 out of 11 wounds. You and Mordecai are both thrown backwards out of the zone. The wall
Yeah, we're-
collapses in. Osiris, you can see through walls. You see as someone begins sprinting away. Now, I'm going to call that one out
So-
because I had your perception check. Everyone is running.
So hang on, Brett. Before we
Yeah.
continue, it was the spread trait that you were looking for, right? Like,
Correct. I was
how
trying to
that
find out
works.
if spread was going to reduce the damage by half.
So
I think it does.
we were not the direct targets of that, right? It was
Correct.
somebody within immediate range of us.
Correct. So is it half?
So if we passed our test, it would be none. If we didn't pass our test, we suffer half damage from the
Okay,
attack.
so Roderick, then you're going to suffer 5, and you'll be at 5 out of 11.
Nice.
Mordecai, you'll be at 7 out of 15. Thank you. That's what I'm glad. That's why I need a rules lawyer.
Well-
Sometimes I forget things.
Well, hold on. If it's half damage, then that's 8 minus
16
my
becomes 8, yes. Oh, yeah. Duh.
right, but minus my armor, so it's 6, not 7.
You take 6,
And
not 7.
mine's
And Roderick, you're
3.
actually at like 3. Well, you have 5 armor plus flak makes it 6, so you're at 2.
Okay, that is
You're both
much
thrown
better.
out of the zone. Yeah, that's much better. You're thrown out of the zone. Osiris, I call this out because with your perception check, you see as people begin running, as they would. A bomb just went off. But you see as one person across the street in the door, or in a house looking out towards where that explosion was. They didn't run right away. They ducked, looked up, and began sprinting. You see that.
and they're within my range.
They're in medium range to allow you to see them, but they are moving away.
So yes.
They're in a house, so you have to, yeah. I mean,
That house won't be a
you can
house
see
much
through
longer.
walls, so yeah. I forgot. Fucking psychers, man.
Carl just goes, so yes.
All right, what do you want to do, Osiris?
So yes.
All right, so I'm gonna try and reach out with my powers of the warp, and I'm gonna try and manifest the Emperor's closed fist on this motherfucker.
Okay, and remind me, this is the one you used on
That
Jarell's
sounds
people.
pretty cool.
The one that crushes bones and locks them in place, right?
Yeah,
All right. Which is that under telepathy or is that under?
that's telepathy.
nice.
No,
Okay.
that's telekinesis.
telekinesis. excuse me.
Telekinesis, Kyle.
Yeah, telepathy is for the telephone. It's telephonesis. It's not a good name, but it has
Isn't-
a nice ring to it.
Yeah. All right. Emperor's closed fist. So go ahead and give me the crush difficult -20 roll.
-20.
Yeah, difficulty for crush is -20 hard.
Well, I can read.
Okay.
I think what he meant to say was "fuck you, Brett."
That's pretty much what he said.
He's indignant.
Look, you have no eyes. How do I know that you can read?
Gumption. Let's see. You said that -20, and that goes off of our. What is that? Willpower? Is that? It's been a while since I've used any powers.
That's true. It has. All psychic powers are going to be based on your discipline, willpower. Yes.
Okay.
And if you have specializations into the particular line that you're using, in this case telekinesis, you can use that
Sure.
power.
35
Psychic-
under 39.
Psychic mastery, and then
Yep.
if you have a specialization in telekinesis, it would also include that one.
Oh, then
Yes.
actually that's even higher.
Because
yeah,
psychic
yes.
mastery is also willpower.
Yes.
So it'd be, what did I say? 32? No, 35 out of under 44.
Under 44, so a +1. Do you have any specialization in telekinesis?
Yeah.
And that's 44?
No, I'm sorry. What does the specialization do?
It adds
you
more.
can roll against the specialization because the specialization is the next level of the skill, so it gives you a higher rolling.
So each
Yeah, if
one you have in specialization adds +5 to your.
yes.
If you go under your
Skill.
skills tab and go down,
Yeah. Psychic mastery telekinesis.
And what is that
So
number?
whatever that number
Six-
is.
64.
So
Okay.
that's a 32 under a 64
No, you said it
Yeah,
was
but
a
you
minus
said
20.
minus 20.
with a -20.
So it's
that becomes
44.
a 50. Oh, I see what you're saying.
You guys
He
are
is
mathing
correct.
differently.
You guys
Oh,
math differently than I
What
do.
you're saying is what I said is correct.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yes. Making sure your
Correct.
number, you had the right numbers. I got you. You guys math by taking the -20 and applying it to what you have to roll against. I do it
Correct.
the other way. I'm
You're
with you.
weird.
You're weird.
Yeah,
On that
no,
note,
that's 3-1. You're weird.
on that note, with a +1, the target will suffer damage equal to 3 plus willpower bonus plus the success level of your manifest test, which is what's the total damage done?
That's a lot of fucking numbers for a guy who just woke up from a nap. Hang on. You said, it's 35, and that's...
The success levels are 1. What's your willpower bonus?
4.
Fuck.
The fuck is going on? All right, 4. Okay, so you're gonna do 8 damage. All
It
right. So
has to take a hard -20 athletics might test.
opposing your manifest test. So the good news is that the bad news is that they would have succeeded on getting away, but with a -20 on their test as well, they go to a +0 success levels. So they are locked in place. You psychically reach out, grasp them, deal 8 crushing damage.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be dead
And I'm
so
choosing
soon.
to do that damage specifically to their sinus cavity.
Ah.
Hell
Honestly,
yeah.
I'll allow it. They're holding their head and falling over on the ground. Why not?
There. Apprehend that one.
None of you see what he's pointing at because he's pointing at a wall.
I'm gonna realize
I'm
that I'm
brushing
pointing at a
dust
wall,
off
and I'm
me.
immediately like making my way around that wall to get to the.
I
All right.
follow. I'm unfazed.
The Scions all but one, all but Leovold, failed as well. So they're all brushing themselves off as well, having been thrown out of the zone. Everyone begins moving with you, Osiris, following you. There's a door off to your left that breaks into the unit that you're there.
Mhm.
You go through that door, and there's
Brad,
yes.
Before that happens, as
Okay.
he's approaching that door,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to look to somebody in the group and say, let's take the back of the house.
Okay.
So
Solid.
me,
I'll go
because I'm
with
the
you.
only one left, right?
And
Okay.
anybody else who's willing to
Well, we
listen
got-
to
we
me,
got
I'm
those-
going to the
what?
other side for another, so that there's not
We
an
need to
exit
go
get
quick
out of.
because I can only hold this for so long.
It's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. You go that way, I'm going this way.
Okay, so Mordecai, you and who are going around?
I'll go.
You
and
and
Dmitry.
Dmitry. And Leovold goes, Tether, Swag, go with him. So you have 2 Scions with you. Roderick, Osiris, you 2 and Leovold begin to approach the door, and Leovold quickly grabs the door, does a little check, swings it open, just to make sure it wasn't booby trapped. Sweep into the room. Lasgun up, Leovold going first, you 2 follow in. This person is clutching their head and like their nose is just bleeding nonstop as if the bones of their nose are being crushed.
It's diabolical.
And they're just coupled on the ground. They failed. They can't get away. You 3 move in. We're not even going to go to initiative order because they're falling over. As that's happening, Mordecai, Dmitry, would you have wanted to go left or right to go around the block? Equidistant either way.
So just to be clear, we're looking at a HAB unit, right?
Correct.
Is it on the end?
No, you're in the middle of a HAB unit.
It's in the middle of a block.
You're in an alley with units on either side. There's a street or another alley equidistant from where you are that would go to the other side of the units.
I'm going to go to the other side, whichever way is the shortest route.
He said
They're
equidistant.
equidistant.
I
Same
ignored
distance.
that. Okay.
So
I'm
go
ig-
both
I'm ig-
directions. One of
and
you
I'm
goes the other
ignoring-
way.
I'm ignoring you, so you need to tell me left or right.
Yeah, I'd say 2 left, 2 right.
You're going to split the group and split them. Okay. Are you going with a Scion or with Dmitry?
I'll go with Dmitry.
Okay, you and Dmitry are going left or right?
I don't want to speak for him. Dmitry, you're coming with me. We're going left.
Okay, so you 2 go left, the 2 Scions go right. Got it. Thank you.
If there's not something really vital about going left or right, Brad, I hate you.
No, there is.
And it's exactly the exact same distance. I don't believe you.
I believe the word is equidistant.
Equidistant. The 2 of you
I
take
ignored it
left.
the second time.
You run to the next alley. You head down the alley. People at this point are flooding the streets because obviously a HAB just exploded. You make your way through the crowd and you find yourselves at the back of the HAB unit. It takes you about 6 minutes to fight your way through the crowd around the block.
Whoa.
The crowd is enmassing. As you 2 reach the door, I need you both to give me an awareness sound test.
I did not touch the door, by the way.
I didn't say you did. Dmitry, you're going to get a plus 20 on this.
Okay.
And I hope that does well for you.
Uh-oh.
So it's a you said plus 20?
You get a plus 20. Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's a +1 for me. That's
Plus
a
one.
43
Mordecai?
under, what would that be? 53.
43 under 53. Okay, Mordecai?
85 over 41.
Okay, Mordecai, you are so focused on this door and debating if you want to touch it that you don't notice this. But Dmitry,
85 over 46. But Go
okay. Either way, you're still not sure if you want to touch the door. Dmitry, you start to hear a sound you haven't heard in a long time. and it's the sound of hotshot las rifles cracking off. And it's coming from around the block on the other side.
Oh.
Oh,
And
well, we know who has those.
Mm-hmm. It's the high. So a standard las rifle has a crack sound when it's firing.
Yeah, hot shots sounds more like laser rifles.
A hot shot is an even higher. It's an even higher pitched, louder snapping sound, almost like a whip crack. Now, hot shot las rifles as well do not have the same amount of fire because they are burning through a pack. Like the shots themselves are just high powered. Dmitry, you hear the sound of 2, a third, and then you hear the sound of auto gunfire.
And that's where the scions went, right?
That's where the scions went.
Okay.
Okay.
Mordecai and Dmitry, you approach the door. We'll come back to you in a second, but I need to know if you're touching the door or not.
Fiddle.
You're gonna fiddle with it? Burns an M into your hand.
No, it doesn't.
What?
No, it doesn't. You touch the door handle, nothing happens.
Okay. My hand's purple.
Do you want to kinetically breach this door? Fuck these guys.
We're gonna come back to you two. Roderick,
Okay.
Osiris, you two and Leovold have approached the person who is bleeding from the nose at this point. What do you want to do?
I'm just content with making him suffer, so that I'm going to let Roderick take the lead on this one.
Roderick looks a little grossed out by the amount of blood coming out of his nose.
Okay. As you look grossed out, and Osiris, you sit patiently, Leovold runs up, kicks them in the back, and makes them faceplant on the ground, reaches down and pulls out essentially what looks like a pair of cuffs, and starts tying their hands together, flips them over on their back, las rifle in their face. You both see an individual with faint purplish bluish skin and bright red
Bam.
hair. And he begins to just laugh maniacally as he's flipped over onto his back. Leovold looks to you both, cracks the Vox. Now, all of you at this point have begun to hear through the Vox. So, Dmitry, Mordecai, you're outside. You're not hearing this. That's why, Dmitry, you heard the las fire. There's too much noise outside. There's too many voices, too much milling. It's just overburdening your little Vox speed. But Roderick, Osiris, you two watch as Leovold begins pressing his ear. And you two hear it as well. And it's reports from Tether and Swag of contact. And the last thing you hear before the Vox cuts briefly is one of them saying, "They're all over us."
Oh, wonderful.
That sounds great. I have no idea what to do right now. I'm a little out of my depth with this.
So do we need this? Do we need this guy anymore? Do you think?
Are you saying this in the Vox beat?
Yeah, sure. Are we
Speak
are we
up.
past are
Jesus.
we past the point of interrogation and we could start the fun, or do we have to keep asking boring questions?
You hear security round. That's all.
Ah.
That's all I'm saying.
You hear a chainsword activate through the box.
Leovold holds one hand up to you, Osiris, and he goes,
Come on, ask him a question. Jesus.
He's yours when you want him, but you don't know where we're going, and my men are dying like flies. We need to figure out where the hell this is coming from.
Then ask your fucking question before my fingers get itchier.
Outside the door, Mordecai, Dmitry, are you guys coming in?
Yes, I'm opening the door.
Door opens, and you see Osiris with a chainsword in hand as Leovold is going, whoa, 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 whoa,
No,
whoa.
he's just pointing the sword tip at the dude, and the blazer just spinning right in front of its face.
Okay.
Just ready.
Am I late for dinner?
Just in time.
Leovold looks to you all and says, all right, I don't know what... Hey, I don't know what kind of a shit show this is here, but this is not very good. Got one man down, 2 others are getting swarmed. Do we even know where we're going?
Where are we going? I turned to the guy who I'm threatening with his.
Well, we were going to the Convexum, but we got waylaid. So now I have no idea where we're going. That was the only thing I had to do in my head.
Osiris reminds me of Chucky in Child's Play 2 with the with the electric bread knife right now.
All right. I need Osiris. You got the chainsword in hand in his face. I would like for you to give me.
Somebody hit him with the Batman. Where are they?
Where are the drugs?
I actually thought about that when Carl said, yeah, I'll let Roderick do it. I was like, I have no idea what to ask this guy right now. So
Osiris,
Normally I lean to you because you're the guy to go to for random bullshit.
yeah, I'm lost.
He's not today.
I don't know what to do now.
give me a presence intimidation check, please.
Do I get any superiority for this, given his situation?
No, because it's not considered a combat roll at this point. You've
Okay. You said intimidation?
presence intimidation.
Presence intimidation.
We'll give you a plus 20 to routine for it though, because
Yeah,
you've
that
got a hotshot las rifle and a chainsaw to his face.
Yeah, that's
And he also has a boot on the back of his neck now,
48
too.
under 64.
48 under 64.
Oh, you
okay.
said plus 10 or plus 20?
Plus 20.
So plus 74. So add another plus 1 to that.
Okay, so three success levels.
Yeah.
As you now you're getting, I think you're getting a little too quiet for your mic when you say that way.
No,
but-
I'm not.
Okay, cool. As you hold the chainsword to his face and you kind of say that, you watch as for a brief moment there's a flicker of cognizance. There's a flicker of choice being made. And the face looks to you and just says, "You all are so far out of your depth.
Agreed.
You don't even know what you're looking for.
Also
My
agreed.
life is infinite. My life is irreparable. My life is worthless. Because we are the children, and we are Legion."
All right, and when he says that, as he starts saying Legion, I'm just going to push the sword through his face.
You push the sword through his face, and his face eviscerates into chunks of fleshy blood.
I've heard enough. I know where this was going. As soon as he said that we're what did you say? We're everyone or whatever.
We are the children.
We're
We are
Legion.
everywhere. We are Legion.
Yeah. As soon as he starts saying we're everywhere, I'm like, okay, I can continue this conversation with any of these guys.
He
Basically.
also gets bolt rounds to the chest as well.
Okay.
Does he? You're
Chainsaw
using
to the
bolt
face, and you're going to fire a bolt round into him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
There's a pneumatic concussive blast as a rocket-propelled round hits this human's flesh, and the chest pulps.
Sick.
Satisfying.
Okay.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So
As this kind of dies down, the two other scions stagger through the door, covered in blood and viscera of unknown nature, and they look to you all, slam the door shut, and one of them rips the mask off, and you see dark hair, pale skin, and he's kind of sucking air. And Leovold looks and just goes, "Swag, what?" He's reaching in and pulling crap out of his respirator vents. He goes, "Couldn't breathe." Mask goes back on, and they both share out that as they made the way through the north, they were jumped by 6 people. Quick gunfight later, they're a little banged up. One of them's bleeding a bit, but they seem okay. And you watch as they begin pulling through their bags, and they start pulling out these syringes, these vials. And Leovold looks and goes, "Yes." Reaches into his own pack, and pulls out 4, and hands them to you guys and says, "These are specialized stims. They'll let you ignore pain for about an hour, and then they wear off."
That's right. Those were the stims that Halikarn was supposed to send, but weren't in the crate.
They weren't in the crate 'cause they were on my person, but yes, that's my fault. And he hands them to each of you, and he says, "They'll let you ignore any pains, any bruises, your broken ribs for about an hour, but after that, you're going to be useless. So 2 a day if you max out, and I've got 4 here for you, but if you use 2 in a day, we pull you off the front lines anyway and send you back for rest."
Is that 4
Thank you.
total or 4 each?
4 total.
Okay.
At this, one of the scions is pulling out his own stim and just goes, "Bottoms up," and slams it into his thigh and injects it.
Yeah, I'll not be doing that till we know where we're going.
Yeah, I'm going to wait as well.
Cracks his neck, cracks his back, cracks his shoulders, and he goes, "Right. So we're getting ambushed from everything at this point, boss. Pretty sure that we've done pissed him off right proper, and I think that Dmitry is right. I think we have stumbled upon a wonderful call. Now, I also think we're running out of time. We either find them or they're going to go to ground, and it's going to get worse for the Hive." So, they look. You watch as all 3 masks turn to the 4 of you, and they go,
Is there... That's fine. Is there anything on this dude? Let's say what you're going to say first, but I want to check the dude for any thing as well.
You rolling bodies is as expected as Roderick Gothic.
He might
gibberish.
have something important.
So
we need clues.
you need clues.
Yeah, for real.
The three of them turn to you and they say, is there anyone you haven't talked to who might be able to help find where they... Look, if we're getting this much activity, it's got to be nearby.
Well-
last time that we talked to Citronella.
Yeah. We haven't talked to her since she went to the tardigrade fields and is now with the Sisters Hospitalia getting work done because she got her ass kicked.
And you hear as that happens, and as one of the scions. So, Mordecai, you're sharing this as your rifle. I'm assuming you're speaking this out loud, right?
Yes, well,
Okay.
hopefully Dmitry is bandaging up my new wounds. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I gotta do that.
You're rolling the body. You don't find
Are we
anything
out
of
of
note.
combat at this point?
You're out of combat.
Okay.
You're out of combat.
We were never
You're
in
rolling
combat.
the body, and you don't find anything of note on them. There's no solars. There's nothing but a shoddy ass auto gun in a back pocket.
Yeah, I just shoot him in the chest with it again.
You pull his auto gun, the mass
Put it
of
back.
bloody pulp, and you just shoot him with it. Okay. As you're speaking though about how Petronilla has gone to the Sisters Hospitalia, you see as Leoval just goes, "Fuck." Oh wait, sorry, wrong voice. Hell, maybe we should just
Okay.
call them, eh?
Oh,
The Sisters Hospitalia would be quite the crew to have on our side right now.
sure. Didn't we get that one chick's number when we were freeing Osiris?
Yeah, it's I didn't write down her actual name, but yeah, it's T,
Sister
right? Yeah,
LT
T.
Maledictum.
That's right.
So you say that you have her Vox, and Leoval goes,
There it is.
"Perfect, tether." And tether comes up, and they
It's been a
pull
while.
a compact long-range Vox unit off his back. And they say, well, Helicon's ship can keep an eye on you. Not too good getting around the Hive. Takes the Vox code, begins punching it in. Hands it to you, Mordecai.
Oh,
You said you know her.
Yeah, who is he? Is he calling the sisters? Oh,
You gave him the code
El
for L.
Maladu.
to L. Okay.
So you pick up the
Pick up,
Vox and
pick
you hear a
up,
voice
pick
go,
up.
yes, what can I do for you? Who
Hello,
is this?
sister. This is Mordecai. You sent us into the out to the tardigrade fields a couple days ago, and unfortunately, we haven't made it to the
yes.
tardigrade fields.
So I hear. We lost a ship.
Yes, we were shot down by a rocket. It seems somebody was after us even before we got out here.
Well, that is quite interesting. I told you to get me another pot of fucking tea.
Yes, tea is quite nice.
I apologize. The sisters tell me I need to be calmer when I have not had my daily cup of tea. So you were shot out of the sky. Someone knew you were on your way. Where are you now?
We are in a shithole known as Ditchhaven.
Ah, yes. Good old Ditchhaven.
And I don't know if you have been caught up to speed, but this Rokarth is in serious trouble. There are, my colleague tells me, gene stealers on the loose.
Hold on. Make it 2 pots of tea! Continue.
Well, I'm standing over the body of one right now. This pale
Genes.
blue skin.
You're standing over the body of a
Well-
gene stealer.
I don't know. Listen, this is really out of my element. I've never dealt with this. Gene stealer is what I'm hearing. These are supposedly some sort of second generation or something. I don't know.
Okay, so summation. There's a gene stealer cult on Rokarth. You're standing over a cultist. Looks like a human,
Yes.
faintly colored
Yes.
skin. Okay.
And we have killed approximately 5 of them in the last 2 days.
Lovely. That means they know we're here. Okay, excellent. Continue. What do you need?
Well, we were not able to make it to the tardigrade fields because of being shot out of the sky and dealing with this new problem, but we were supposed to meet up with...
Too late. Your friend Petronilla has been here for over 24 hours in treatment.
Yes, and that is one of the reasons I am calling. I was hoping Petronilla had some insight of what was happening at the tardigrade fields that could help us to figure out where to go next.
Understood. I will speak with Petronilla and call you back. Now, in the interim, where are you? You're in Ditchhaven.
I'm in Ditchhaven in a shitty hab unit.
Yeah. Have you happened to locate where you're asking Petronilla if she knows anything else. Have you happened to figure out where the cult may be hiding out? It's one of the hardest things to find out about a Gene Stealer cult. They're immaculate at hiding deep within the deepest, ugliest, darkest spaces.
We have found a convexum where they had a tunnel shaft that led out of the city. It seemed like that's where they were stashing their gratis. And then we found in a hab unit where they were staying, but it didn't seem there was anything of interest there.
How did the convexum lead out of the city?
Through a tunnel. The shaft led several miles through the mountains and up on top of a hill, just outside of town.
If I were a cult, and I wanted to move things and people easily without being seen, I would go through the deepest, darkest areas. Now, if you're outside of the town, there's no alleys, there's no warrens, there's nowhere to hide, but tunnels.
Well, you might
be
blew
onto
this
something.
tunnel up.
That doesn't mean it's the only one.
Oh, this is true.
Take what do you have an auspex? Do you have data equipment? Do you have anything to scan the land?
Yes, we have an auspex.
Okay.
Dmitry here has a few toys.
Okay, here's what you do. I will speak to your friend. We need to figure out where this is coming from. This is a problem. This is a problem for my people and my city. In the interim, thank you. Thank God you hear a slurping sound as she goes, much better, much better. In the interim, there's a high likelihood that the gang that you're looking for, the cult that you're looking for, is somewhere. If you're in the bowels and you're in Ditchhaven, they're probably somewhere either in Ditchhaven or shortly there without. Now, if you came out of a tunnel outside of town, that would potentially be near where they're hiding, maybe not. I will speak with your friend. I will speak with the sisters. I will try to fly out with a small group to assist you. In the interim, try to locate where they're from, and perhaps, if you haven't yet, if there's anyone left in the city who you haven't spoken to, or anyone you trust, maybe they'll know if there's any
billions.
Maybe they'll know if there are any kind of people who have gone missing. Because Gene Stealer cults tend to need people to join them, which means people have to come from somewhere.
Okay. We were also instructed to, well, maybe not instructed, but we suggested blowing up the convexum where we thought they may be coming from. Do you think we should hold off on that?
I don't see any harm in blowing up a convexum, except you're going to blow up an entire structure where you think they may be coming from without knowing where they're actually from, and at that point, they will really know you're onto them. At this point, it sounds like they already know. So, personally, I wouldn't blow up the convexum first. It doesn't make sense. If you drive them to ground, we will have an impossible task to remove them.
Okay. We will stand by and keep looking through the city for more leads. And I'll wait for your call.
I'll be in touch shortly. Line goes dead.
Rare fact. The guy that kept saying Dosha, he's dead, right?
You think he's dead? You saw his body. Or at least what you thought was his body.
I'm just seeding doubt, Brad. Stab it.
Maybe.
Mordecai,
who
as
is
you,
somebody? Go ahead.
as you're hanging up that connection, you feel a stabbing pain into your midsection as I inject you, and I heal you for 7 wounds.
Mordecai,
Ooh.
that's your heal for the day.
That feels good.
That is your heal for the day. Mark that.
You can only be healed once a day?
Per day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lame. But
Hey,
worth it, 'cause it was...
we never went and hunted Lord Draven or talked to Lord Draven.
Draven, Lord Alistair Draven is in another hive across the planet.
I'm looking through all my notes to try and find somebody that we haven't talked to.
The only person that we trusted in this town at all was Elena.
Mm-hmm.
And she did.
Okay.
We don't trust anybody in the Cutters.
But we're looking for somebody we don't trust, right? Like, because that's probably where they are. And the Cutters could be a good place to go. They were all messed with.
What was the
Their brains weren't
significance
right.
of the Amaranthine Temple?
That was end of season 1.
Amaranthine Temple was the prior distribution of Gratis before Osiris joined the party. It
The
was
guy
found
at the-
in the bowels, and it was where the Amaranthine cult was moving Gratis from the temple into the bowels.
Well, we
guy
found
at-
crates that that had matching Miraclaw symbols scratched onto them in that hab unit with the access
Correct.
card.
Correct.
That's the lead we could follow.
The guy at the boiled basket has tried to talk to us several times, and we have told him no. Like, I don't know if maybe that's the guy that I called Red Herring at the last episode.
Oh,
because he tried to talk to us while we were going to bed.
The guy at the boiled basket who you bought Amasec for.
No. I'm talking about the guy behind the bar. The one
Argyle.
that originally Dmitry was going to fix his knee. Yeah.
Argyle is still there. You saw him as you left the inn, the equivalent of this morning.
Right. I don't know. It's a place here in town
Everyone
that
else.
maybe he could have some sort of, weird people coming in, weird people not showing back up. I don't know.
Well, you have a few options. Now, as your GM, I'll give you a little bit of guidance here in that what you know so far. You're right. Argyle is still alive. You can totally go speak to him and try to follow up some of that from the boiled basket. You also know that as you make your way through town, you've been attacked twice now in the town of Ditchhaven. Osiris, to your point of the crates, you do have the clue that the crates that you found in the Hab unit from Morkath and team had the symbol that you all recognized from the Amaranthine Temple that was called the Miraclaw.
Right.
You also know that Elena was attempting to speak to you about something and was killed. Petronilla was going to investigate something and was almost killed.
We were going to investigate, and we were shot down.
You were shot down. You also know, and Mordecai, I think you're missing one step here. The Convexum fungi, where you were going up to, you went with Morkath, Naheem, and the others, who you know were in the Hab unit that had the Miraclaw symbols. And then you went there and you saw individuals that they called the Pestilent Jest, who had the 3 circles with fly larvae within them in a triangular shape. You saw them in the Convexum. Dozens of them.
Right.
As you massacred their leadership, they all ran like hell. You also know that there are multiple stilt families that serve and walk through the Unsea, and those families all operate out of the trade hub that you saw when you came out of the cave from under the Convexum. You know that the cave that you walked through under the Convexum was a 5-mile-long walk as you climbed up out of the depths. And lastly, you at least have 3 scions with you, so you have a little bit of extra backup. But there are multiple things you could do here. I know wheels are spinning. There's multiple things you could do. You could easily go talk to anyone that you've already spoken to before. You can try to get more answers. You can go bother the cutters. You can go blow up the Convexum. You can also hunker down and wait for a call from Elle and hope she has something for you.
Well, I feel like everybody that's been on their way to the tardigrade fields has ended up dead or beat up, including Petronilla, and that's where Elena was going to take us before she was shot by clearly a scion because of the way that she melted and what we know about their weapons now. So she wasn't killed by a cutter, she was killed by a scion. Supposedly, we would think.
To reiterate Elena's death, she was shot with a weapon that ate her flesh.
Right. Which is not a weapon that we know of here, based on what Dmitry knew from previous battlefields, was from Tyranids, right?
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm saying Scion. I meant Tyranid.
Oh, you meant Gene Stealer. Got it.
I meant Gene Stealer, yeah.
Got it.
Scion kind of sounds like a Gene Stealer to me.
Yeah.
So,
well, Leovold might disagree. He doesn't think he's a Gene Stealer.
So
but...
why do the Gene Stealers want to kill Elena? Wouldn't they want to sow instability between the cutters and the endless? I think we need that railroad. No.
You're asking all the right questions. And I think you're going to have to wait until next time to figure out some of the answers. The scope of this investigation has ballooned and your multiple avenues of options have somewhat dissipated, but you have options. You have clues. You have people. And you're waiting on a call from Elle, who's going to speak with Petronilla on your behalf. And you'll have to tune in next time to find out what happens next on the Tainted Hive Season 2 Children of Rokarth. Now, each of the 4 of you are going to gain 10 experience for today's session. There is no bonus experience today. But when we pick up next time, we'll find out if you can put the pieces together to find out where the danger of Rokarth is coming from. And until then, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to our show sponsors over at PrimetimeMagic.com, where they have a wide variety of Magic singles. Go show them some love, just like they show us some love. If you're so inclined and you like what you see, follow us on YouTube, hit us with a like, hit us with a subscribe, tell your friends about us, and help get the word out about the Children of Rokarth and the Tainted Hive. And lastly, DeadSunsCo.com, our website, is your best avenue to find everything we do, whether it's games, reviews, or anything else like that. And if you really like what you heard, consider heading over to patreon.com/DeadSunsCompany and showing us a little bit of love. But until then, and until next time, I'm your GM Brad, leading our now thoroughly confused party in the Tainted Hive Season 2.
Below what you think is going on. Let us know.
I actually would love to see if anybody's put the pieces together.
Yeah. Agreed.
So until next time, okay, bye!